All right, peace, family. We're back. It's good to be back. Shout out to all of the Nagas and the Fangs, the priests and priestesses that follow the channel. Today we have a special setup of a show. I have my brother AJ with me. We have Rambo from the Truth Codes on today, and we have Decoding with KODI. I've been talking about KODI for a while as well. So I want to welcome each of you to the stage, and if we can give an introduction of you all, started with AJ and flown on down the line, so people can get a feel with who you are and where they can find you.
Very much appreciate it, Ani. Thank you for allowing us to join onto your platform today. I know this is the first time that you and Rambo, as well as KODI, have had a chance to connect, so I'm glad to be a part of that merger. My name is AJ, also known as Ball Don't Lie. You guys can find me at Ball Don't Lie with 3 L's in Ball on YouTube as well as on Instagram.
Yeah, and okay, I can be.
What about you, Rambo?
Yeah, I can be found at patreon.com/TheTruthCodes. There's only one tier, it's $5. You get access to the Discord server, which is the code breaker community. But there is also free content available. $5 helps me more. I appreciate that. But I'm also on Instagram, The Truth Codes on Instagram. And I basically decode the modern day, just the world as it is, history, popular culture, sports, from the lens of the mysteries. And the mysteries are allegories, astrology, and of course, gematria, symbolism. Thank you, Dallas 113. And I call those mystery elements the truth codes. And I demonstrate that clearly the events of the modern day in the news are determined by these elements, these mystery elements. And I call them the truth codes.
Yeah, we do want to clear up something with Rambo. There's a person I've been following for about 3 or 4 years. His name is Rambo Seek the Truth 101 on Twitter. We just discovered today that is not Rambo. So if you guys see a guy named Rambo Seek the Truth 101, we kind of got that misconstrued with our brother Rambo here. So if you guys are following that person, we want to get it on record and clear that up, that isn't the Truth Codes Rando, the legend Rambo. I'm sorry, Rambo. So
yeah, they're using my name to get clout, and it's succeeding better than I'd succeed for numbers wise. But it's not about numbers. If they had any depth to them, like real essence, about real essence, it's not about clicks and likes. They need to get deeper than that. But yeah, they're using my life essence, and it's working for them for now in the material plane.
Yeah, they certainly are. They do have a lot of numbers. But KODI, what is up with you, brother? Let them know a little bit about yourself and where they can find you.
Yeah, man. Once again, thanks for having me on, and glad to be here with all 3 of you. Much love. And you guys can find me at Decoding with KODI on YouTube. Most of you guys watching know where that. I also have an Instagram, Decoding with KODI. I don't use it as much, but I do have Instagram, and I have a buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/decoding with KODI. So that's the main places you can find me, and look forward to getting into it with you guys.
Yes, I can say going back as far as Rambo days with Gematria Effect News and his decodes, especially with I think it was the FIFA World Cup, maybe it was 2023 or 2022, and the DeMar Hamlin decode was when I really started looking at Rambo information and his connection with astrology because I do the Vedic astrology now in connection to the gematria, but he was doing gematria, astrology connected to gematria way back then. And I was like, yo, Rambo is a legend at this type thing. And, you know, even though you split off, you're doing your own thing now, I respect your work and what you do. You're highly appreciated in all the communities, spiritual and the truth communities. You're very much recognized.
Yeah, thank you
I'm
very
lagging
much.
a bit, guys. Give me a thumbs up.
Yeah, it was a little choppy.
Am I
but
lagging a bit, everyone?
like visually, you were a little choppy for me, but your audio was normal. But yeah, I appreciate the big compliment.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
And KODI, man, I've been talking about you a whole lot lately on my channel. Your Olympics decode recently, 2024 Olympics with Prince and the Uranus connection, and what you've been doing with WWE is very, very, very classic. And you're pretty much on your way to legendary stardom as well, man. So I just want to appreciate you for that.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man, and I'm just glad to be able to share the truth and expose this stuff. And I think all of us here, that's what we're called to do in this world. And I think I really appreciate all the people I get a chance to share that time with. So appreciate you for saying that.
That's no problem, man. AJ on Instagram, man, you keep us locked in with the sports, and you're at the top of the top when it comes to correlating timelines with what's going on in the sports world. I love what you said on Donut in the connection to that movie you guys was decoding with the Texas flood recently, and the movie y'all found in the Steve Kerr connection to Kerr. Was it Kerrville County or something like that? I was like, man, AJ be on it, man.
Well, I'll say KODI was all over the Steve Kerr connection. But the day before that live, I took the time to watch the movie, and sure enough, you had that 3-2-2 smacked right in the middle of the movie. It's really subtle, but it's right there. But I appreciate it, Ani. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I apologize if there's a little bit of a lag. I don't know what's going on, man. We've been having storms and all type of stuff here. All right, let's get into it, fellas. I think we had a great introduction. So let me know when you guys can see the stream.
I can see it.
All right. So recently, I just wanted to talk about the recent news of Dan Rivera, who is a paranormal investigator. He died mysteriously on July 13th. So we have this July. A lot of stuff happened on July 13th. That's 137 connection, 13/7, which is the 33rd prime number. 137 is 33rd prime number. But he died at 54 while he was touring with the infamous Annabelle doll during, it's called the Devils on the Run tour. Who would name something like that? In Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. So they said it was some type of heart failure. I think that's also connected to what AJ has been saying with his love connections and the heart connections to the OKC having the little heart emblem on their jerseys. But yeah, the 33rd prime number is connected in it. Of course, Annabelle equals 33. Masonry equals 33. Of course, 33 is Masonry's favorite badge of honor. You get that 33 stamp. Also, date numerology was 29. Masonic equals 29. It happened under the Dynista, Nakshatra, and Sidereal astrology. That equals 92. His name, Dan Rivera, equals 92. He also had the 41 connection. Dan Rivera and Doll equals 41. So I looked at it as symbolically Dan Rivera became a vessel. And when I look at dolls in association to having spirits in it, it goes back to the Aleister Crowley Moonchild whole thing. And I don't know if you guys have watched any of my videos. I know AJ follows me a little bit, but I've been configuring the philosophy of what a moon child is. And I believe a lot of these deaths between people in regular society, day-to-day society, and celebrities and public figures are all moon children. I've been connecting in vitro births. I've been connecting certain astrological signs, and everything points to me that these people are synthetic beings, or their entire lives are in magic, are a magical experiment of the Black Lodge or the elite. Their entire life is a magical charged experiment. And that's why they can be either killed by the numbers, or certain numerology and gematria kabbalistically connects to certain things happening day to day with their lives. So with the article saying he had a sudden death, that equals 149 in reverse reduction. Skull and bones equals 149, and that is also connected to the Yale death code, as we may know. And devils on the run equals 185. If you add 185 to the death date is prime, you get 137 plus 185 equals 322. So I believe it was some type of skull and bones coded ritual. What are you guys' thoughts on this? And did you have anything to add on this? We can start with Rambo if he would like.
Yeah, I don't really have much to add to this, but just in general, objects can be possessed. So a lot of times in horror movies, we assume that somebody's just very creative and just makes it all up. That to a small extent, they're making it up. This is all based primarily on real life phenomena. And possessing an object, putting a spirit into an object is possible.
Ani, hey, really quick, if you wouldn't mind just removing the comment, just so the viewers can see Rambo as he's speaking, that would be great.
Oh, sorry. I didn't even know the comment was still there.
Oh, no, you're good. I didn't mean to interrupt. I apologize.
No, yeah, I just want to emphasize that this does happen in real life. Objects can be possessed, and people, you can put spirits into objects. And there are many, many anecdotes of people who've had objects that are, strange things have happened around those objects.
Well, that's what I'm sorry, that's what the Egyptians did, right? They would put spirits, their actual spirits, even after death, they would seal and put their spirits in, different organs and seal them up and put them in tombs and stuff. So they're doing repetition of what the ancients did.
Yeah, so you could also have an egregore like that. If you have multiple people, they can put an egregore into an object as well. They can create an egregore. People don't know what an egregore is. It's a life form that's actually it's a spirit form that's created by multiple people, basically energizing spiritually a character. If they all put those same character traits all together, they put their minds together, it's all called a thought form. They actually create a being, spiritual being. So so I'm just saying this sort of thing is not out there fiction. There probably are real Annabelles in real life. Maybe not as dramatic as the movie displays, but it's a real thing.
So what about the Annabelle? It was just on that plantation, or it was in New Orleans. It was near the plantation in New Orleans that burned down, and then they kind of was glad when they got Annabelle out of New Orleans, and now it was missing for months, and it ends up in Pennsylvania. So it's just weird. What do you think specifically with Annabelle and connected to The Conjuring? What is the significance? Is it something with the red hair? Because what we're about to talk about with the Phoenix and the connection to the red hair and the woman who killed the other mother of 6 in McDonald's. Is there some type of correlation there with Annabelle or the red hair, or is there anything clicking with your understanding? Yeah.
I can't say specifically what it is, but hair color is a very big part of MK Ultra. for some reason, and red hair. Also, remember Kathy Griffin when she did the mock beheading of Donald Trump, and she has her red hair. She's holding up the severed head of a really realistic severed head of Donald Trump. I think her red hair was a very big part of it. But yeah, it is used in MK Ultra a lot. Red hair or orange hair, anyway.
Yeah, I did see that they believe the Scythians, or people who come from a lineage, mainly Europeans who have red hair, are connected to some type of psychic conduit. I did see that once, so it makes sense. AJ or KODI, did you guys have anything to add to this story, or anything you want to comment on?
I'll let KODI go first.
Well, the first thing I'm interested in here, like I don't know much about the story, so I just running the quick gematria. I did notice that Annabelle equaled curse and spell. So just in the basic ordinal cipher, they all equal 66, and then of course that's pretty close to the 666. But I also noticed that the date, this July 13th date, the third. I mean, there's been a couple years in a row now where I've noticed, of course, last year on that date, Trump got his ear wound, or supposed ear wound. But yeah, I think it has something to do with that 33 prime, like what you mentioned, Ani. But yeah, I mean, as far as like the Annabelle thing, I need to look more into it. But this is definitely an interesting story, considering they're saying he died and he's a paranormal investigator, right? So yeah, it seems really, really fishy for sure.
Also, his age of death is 54, and the Jesuit order loves that 54 number, and the sun is connected to 54. Adonijah says in the chat that there's a new Conjuring movie coming out as well, so maybe that's the connection. What about you, AJ?
Yeah, so for me, I see a big water connection with a lot of the female water stuff that Rambo's been talking about lately. Just notice his last name, River, right? Dan River, essentially. We did that live with Donut, and we did a live prior to that talking about the Texas floods. Obviously, that was kind of the starting point of the flooding that we've been seeing now kind of spread throughout the U.S. But Rambo has done fantastic work really pointing out about how it's all related to the Trinity, not only just the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, or the Holy Spirit is represented by the feminine, but notice that it was all females that perished at Camp Mystic, right? And Annabelle is a female doll, right? So it ties right in with just that water and daughter female connection, right? And you were mentioning, Ani, the moon child, right? Well, the moon controls the tides, right? Mm-hmm. Women's periods are based off of the lunar cycles. So that's essentially what I took away from at least this part of kind of what's latest in the news.
Also, dolls in general are MK Ultra symbols. The reason a doll is an MK Ultra symbol is because a doll has no free will, has no soul expression. It's controlled by, usually a doll is owned by a child or like an action figure. And the doll itself just has absolutely no autonomy, no sovereignty, is entirely in control of the child. And that's a metaphor for how they, in power, see ideally how they see us. No free will, no soul expression. We do what they make us do. And if you're a MK Ultra mind slave, you're essentially a doll. That's why doll symbolism is everywhere. That's what Barbie's about. That's what the movie Barbie's about. It's all about MK Ultra. And who just came out with a new Ken doll? LeBron James. It's all about MK. They're telling you he's, with this kind of state of mind he's in.
Yeah, Marco Power says in the chat that red hair also represents the Scarlet Woman. It's a Kabbalah reference. So shout out to him.
And I just noticed here that the just running the date measurement from the guy's death to the next Conjuring movie, Perfect amount of days. 54 days. He dies at
Oh
54.
wow. So it is connected. So his age being 54 and it being 54 days from the next Conjure movie, that's the connection.
And I believe that ritual sacrifice equals hold on. Yeah, ritual sacrifice equals 251, the 54th prime. So there's probably that 251 was hugely connected with Queen Elizabeth when she died. She died on the 251st day of the year. I bet it's connected to Queen Elizabeth. I notice everything with anything like that is also connected to her death. I just don't always mention it, but I bet it's connected. She died in the 251 day of the year, and that's the 54th prime as well. So,
All right, I'm gonna let you get the floor, AJ, because you have a presentation ready. I'm also going to take my stream. I might want to switch it out because
No problem.
they said I'm lagging. Yeah, I'm lagging a little bit. So
No problem. I think before I dive into the couple slides I have going into the next story, I just want to point out here, you guys, for those that aren't aware, and I just kind of stumbled upon this. I just requested share screen, by the way, Ani. For those that don't know, there was actually a movie called Annabelle that released on October 3rd, 2014. And really the reason that matters is when we take a look at, let's see, let me get the date calculator up here for a quick second. Trying to keep it all on the same screen. So from that movie's release date, dang it, sorry, hold on, shoot. My apologies, everybody. So when we look at the release date of that movie, October 3rd, right, and we just take the anniversary of that date, even though it came out in what was it? I already forget. Doesn't matter. Just focusing on the date, October 3rd, to the date of this news of Dan Rivera's passing. Don't forget what I just mentioned about the water themes. But notice that when you add the end date, the date of his passing was a span of 83 days before the anniversary of the release date of this particular movie, Annabelle. And that matters because when we once again go to the gematria calculator and just look at the base ciphers, we'll see here sorry guys, hold on. We're just going to focus on the reduction cipher for a quick section, or for a quick second. Just notice that flood equals 83. See what I'm saying?
There you go.
So that falls right in line with just, once again, the water themes that Rambo has really pointed out when it comes to these flooding stories. And once again, just how it kind of all connects back to the female. You know, Annabelle is a female doll, which I'm guessing most, little girls are, have that Annabelle doll growing up, whatever. So I just want to point that out before we then shift gears over to the next story, which, Ani, I know you were looking at with regards to the Risen Phoenix stabbing McDonald story in Detroit.
Right.
Real quick, AJ, that was also 10 years, 9 months, 11 days after that movie came out to his death.
There's your 1911. That's in the movie The Flood that we covered. 1911.
Yeah, and then that's literally the date of 9/11/01. If you read it backwards, it's 11/9/01. So that's interesting.
There you go. Yep. So that was the last thing I really wanted to touch on before we shift gears to the next story. So unless Rambo, if there's anything else you wanted to add to that, just maybe elaborate further on the water female themes.
Yeah, I don't have that much to add to that. I really don't have much to add to that. I think we've done a lot on the water.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
yeah, I like to. I have more to add on the Phoenix symbolism.
Okay. Let's pull
Perfect.
that up real quick. Did you want to pull up your slides, AJ?
Yeah,
Or you
yeah.
want me
So
to-
either I can go first or you can go first, Ani. Totally up to you. You know, shout out to you. I heard about this story in quick passing, but when you told me that it was something that you wanted to touch on, you know, I did some quick research and it just blew my mind once again how perfectly intertwined this is numerically and symbolically for that matter, especially with the red hair and her going by Risen Phoenix and whatnot. So either or.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you show your graphics because it looks better than mine, and I'll just add my spin on top of it because you
Sure.
took your due diligence to put those graphics together. But yeah, it is a big time ritual that we need to cover, and I think it's connected to the whole Phoenix theme out in the Grand Canyon area catching on fire, the Grand Canyon Lodge fire in Phoenix as well. But we can start on this story and then move into that as I break that down. But go ahead, brother.
Yeah. So my first question, Ani, keep me honest here. This story, did this happen on the 13th as well? Or was this one, did this happen on the 10th? It was one of the, I'm trying to remember the date it actually happened. You remember?
I think it happened on the 10th. It happened on the 10th.
Okay. Yeah, the reason that stood out to me was because I did a whole story on Kobe Bryant and Kobe Sanders signing with LA. But besides the point, we're now talking about a story of essentially a deranged and disappointed employee who had of McDonald's in Detroit, Michigan, or at least a suburb of Detroit, from my understanding. But ultimately, this particular employee was sent home multiple times early for just being erratic, inappropriate behavior, not sexually or anything like that, but just being a problem. And I wanted to kick this off by just pointing out here, I'm going to go full screen. I won't be able to see your guys' faces or the comments, but just so we can get a better visual. This is the main story. If you guys just search McDonald's stabbing story, this will be one of the first videos that you guys see on the main page of Google. And just right off the bat, just knowing the numbers that I know, I'm always learning, but of course it's Channel 4 News, which is the number associated with death in Mandarin culture. So for those that don't know, in China and Japan, kind of like how here in the US, the number 13 is very voodoo, and a lot of hotels and whatnot don't have a 13th floor, even though when you're on the 14th floor, you know what floor you're really on. They do the same thing in the Mandarin culture. And the reason that is because the number 4 is pronounced the same way as the word death. So it's considered very voodoo. But, you know, even just looking at, you know, at the YouTube, they have their little decal right next to the decal of the main broadcast. So on the bottom right corner, you guys can see that 44 right there. And so the reason that matters is because, once again, this story took place in Detroit, Michigan. Detroit and Michigan both equal 44. Harris is the last name of the McDonald's manager who was stabbed to death. But notice too that they're pointing out that it is a $25 million bond up on the upper left-hand corner. And that's a big death number, because words like RIP and death, just in the base ciphers of gematria, both equal 25. And back to the 44, if you guys couldn't see it, kill also equals 44. It's a big death number. And sure enough, right after this, by the way, this little news story is only like 2 or 3 minutes long. So right after the intro, they then segue to where this took place, and they zoom in that it's the 38th district. Well, for those that are familiar with gematria and the death numbers, 38 is arguably one of the biggest death numbers that's out there, besides 44. RIP, death, killing, murder, all equal 38. And the reflection is 83. Well, murder equals 83 as well. And sure enough, when they release this story, it's really, really small. But if you guys look at that arrow on the bottom left or bottom right corner, you'll see that they also mentioned that it was 83 degrees outside when they reported this news. So couldn't get away from the death numbers just in this very quick story. And Ani, I know that you got a lot to share, and I'm really interested to get Rambo's kind of additions on this when it comes to that phoenix, that rising phoenix symbolism. But this was something that we were just talking about with Rambo, I want to say in our last stream on Tuesday, if not the stream before that. But this is a selfie video that she did a couple days before the tragic event. We were just talking about MK Ultra, so we know that the butterfly, right, really symbols MK Ultra, and of course she has a butterfly tattoo or sticker, whatever that is, on her cheek.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess in closing on this particular story and what I decoded, notice that her full name equals 322, which is also known as the Brotherhood of Death. See what I'm saying? I mean, talk about ritualistic, talk about how perfectly this name aligns with a number that's associated with one of the biggest secret societies that are out there. And lastly, all I did was really look at the address of where this McDonald's was located. And sure enough, all you had to add up was just the digits of the address, 17921. You add those together, sure enough, you get 20, where death equals 20 in Pythagorean. So I will leave it there at the moment.
Yeah, I think she was a moon child as well. Afeni Muhammad was a moon child. It happened under Atara, Ashada, Nakshatra, and Vedic astrology, which is connected to some of the symbolism. But with her having orange hair, orange equals 33. I think the Phoenix strip was also connected to McDonald's equaling 84. One of the prime Jesuit numbers is 84. Also, Phoenix by itself equals 73. And I'm going to correlate that in a second to the Grand Canyon Lodge burning in Phoenix, Arizona, with this woman calling herself the Rising Phoenix. That also equals 73. And 73 equals sacrifice. And one of the main ciphers, 73, is a big sacrifice number, by the way. So it's interesting. And McDonald's released some type of Phoenix chicken sandwich, chicken wrap days before this killing. And it was the promotion of it was something about the Phoenix rising or something like that as well. So they were predicting that one of their moonchild, whatever government assets, was going to carry this thing out. Now, date numerology was 66. Woman sacrifice equals 66. I saw that correlate. Jesuit order in McDonald's equals 84. Jennifer, which was the first name of the manager, her name equals 49, mirroring ritual, and 81, which 8 plus 1 is 9, the number of completion, death, and karmic closure. And the correlation I'm making to the Grand Canyon whole thing, the place that burned in the Grand Canyon was called the Grand Canyon Lodge in Phoenix, Arizona. The fire was called the Dragon Bravo fire. I think all of that was correlated to this Phoenix ritual that happened with this woman. And I would like Rambo to expound on that, and then I'll give a little bit more, like the area being called White Sage. The reason why that's interesting, White Sage Fire 216, Grand Canyon in Latin gematria. I heard you correct that, Rambo, about the Jewish cipher originally. Was it called the Latin cipher? I said something.
Yeah,
like
it was
that.
never called the Jewish cipher. It was called the Jewish cipher on the Gematrinator calculator, but that's never been the official name for it. It's the Agrippa cipher.
Agrippa. There.
Agrippa, yeah. He's a Masonic sage, philosopher, scholar. I think from the Middle Ages.
Yeah, the
from the Middle
Grimoire.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Agrippa Grimoire is one of the most famous grimoires in the world.
Yeah.
Well, Grand Canyon equals 666, and 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. But go ahead and share what you have on the Phoenix and this ritual that took place with the woman in the Grand Canyon. Rambo.
I also want to say one thing. She's from East Point. That's very important because it's killing of a female. Skull and bones. It's a very important thing to understand. Skull and bones, in and of itself, is not the symbol. The full symbol is supposed to be skull, bones, heart. So when you see skull and bones, you have to understand that there's one symbol missing. It's supposed to be skull, crossbones, and heart. That's a trinity. They're supposed to go together. You're seeing the absence of the heart, and that's why they symbolically, when they kill a female, very often, and always, but AJ showed how 322 is part of it. So it is tied in with skull and bones. So this is a destruction of the heart, which is very satanic. Now, if you have 2/3 of a trinity, because the heart is absent here, it's only 2/3. What's 2/3? 2 divided by 3. 0.666. That is why 666 represents evil. The skull is thought, the crossbones are the femur bones, which represent action, and the heart is emotion. That's the feminine portion of the Trinity. When you're killing the emotion, that's care, compassion. You're creating thought and action with no emotion, no compassion, and that's psychopathy. And that's 2/3 of the Trinity. 2 divided by 3 is 0.666. So that skull and bones directly is related to 666.
And as far as the heart connection I can add in there is, don't forget about McDonald's slogan. I'm loving it. Right. So love smack right in the middle. And to Rambo's point with that skull and bones connection, the symbol of skull and bones is missing the emotion, which is the heart.
Yeah. Also, with East Point, the East is associated with Venus. Venus is the Eastern star, or Ishtar. You think East Star, Ishtar, the goddess. The East.
Well, and this took place in East Point.
Yeah,
East
that's
Point.
yeah. So that's another reference, a feminine reference. The East is associated with the feminine, with the goddess Ishtar, East Star. So East Point, that's another destruction of the feminine, and these are metaphors. Not that females are the only ones with compassion, obviously, but it's a metaphor. And the sacred masculine is action and will, of course, and bravery. Females have that too. These are metaphors. They're anthropomorphisms of powerful forces in the universe. So that's what they're doing. They're creating psychopathy, basically destroying love. The reason they have to keep doing these, why do they keep doing over and over again, destroying this love symbol, this care symbol, the heart? Because that is the most powerful force in existence, is the power of love. It is literally the most powerful force. And they can't destroy it. They never will. So they're doing this over and over and over again. It gives them some success. You can see the state of the world now. It's because of how powerful that vibration is. Love. It's literally the most powerful vibration that there is. I explained how in the Matrix they have it. Trinity represents the female. She's the female of the Trinity. And that's what she represents. And she literally brings Neo back to life. Neo was dead. She told him, I love you, kissed him. Now, it's not, on the surface, it's a love story. No, it is. It's about the power of the vibration of love. And of course, not only females have it, like I said. And it literally brought Neo back to life. And what are we seeing in the Phoenix symbol? What does the Phoenix do? The Phoenix self-immolates, comes back to life. And each time the Phoenix comes back to life, it comes back to life at a higher level. And then it self-immolates. It has to sacrifice. It's like it goes through you could call it the dark night of the soul. It has to die to itself, die to your ego. AJ talks about the Bible emphasizing be like a child. That means dying to your ego. And after you die, you resurrect again. And this time you resurrect at a higher level. And so that ties in to the Phoenix symbolism and how it's love that brings you back to life, which it was in the Matrix, which has some very deep philosophy in it. So that's why they keep doing this. They're trying to destroy, which they can't, because that is their worst enemy. For an evil person, their worst enemy. I don't know why anyone would choose to be like that. That to me is a mystery. Why don't you just accept the power of love? Like your life would be so much better. But
Mhm.
for whatever reason, so it might not even be human, it might be AI that they're following. It doesn't make any sense. They're trying to destroy what can't be destroyed, and their greatest enemy is the most powerful force. They want to be the most powerful, but there's a force they can't destroy, which is more powerful than them. The most powerful force in existence, and that is the love vibration.
Right. I also wanted to make one more connection to the Sirius helical rising during that period. And I said this on my Patreon. You guys make sure you subscribe to my Patreon as well. Patreon.com/THE_spiritual shade room. I do about 3-hour videos on these decodes and do a spiritual lesson at the end. And one thing I noticed with this particular decode I did that I didn't mention earlier is that she wore this Jason mask right before the killing. Some people say she wore it when she killed the manager. She put this Jason mask on. Somebody said it was a Chucky mask. It looks like a Jason mask to me. So you guys can let me know what type of mask it is. But understand that Jason is the name of the month period during the Sirius rising. Why is that? Because July, August, September, October, and November, that the acronym, those are the acronym titles of the months to Jason. And that is during the time that Sirius is reaching its highest point in the sky. And this is when they do their Freemasonic rituals repetitively during that particular season. That's why we're seeing the Texas connection, the Lone Star State, which is actually the Lone Star is Sirius. And they're doing a lot of things connected with that. Also, her name equaling 39 is the same as Masonry. Freedom, because it happened after the 4th of July. Federal is also 39. And her name being tied to Tupac, who died at 25, her bail being set at 25 million. Tupac's mother was named Afeni Shakur. So that's that mother-child trauma lineage because she killed her mother. And the date being 10/7 equates to 107, and ritual sacrifice equals 107. KODI, did you have anything to add on this story or anything you're seeing just listening?
Yeah, absolutely. First thing I noticed was, well, the victim's name was Harris, and I don't know if Harris. I'm not sure if Harris has a connection to red hair. I think it might, but the point I want to make is that Harris, of course, Donald Trump, the Moonchild. You mentioned how this is connected to the Moonchild, and I've made the connection that McDonald's is Moonchild Donald. That's what it stands for, MC Donald. And Moonchild Donald, right, served French fries at McDonald's on Kamala Harris's birthday last year. Remember when he was in McDonald's, he was serving French fries on her birthday as they were running against each other. And now here we got this story. And Kamala Harris is very connected with Detroit. She actually campaigned a lot in Detroit, and she was very close friends with the governor of Detroit, who's also the female governor. And I made a lot of connections with Detroit or with Michigan, because I think Michigan equals 152, like Kamala Debbie Harris equals 152. But anyway, I think it's definitely connected to that. But another thing I'm noticing here is I was a huge Detroit Red Wings fan growing up, hockey team. And look how she's wearing a hockey mask. And believe it or not, I was like, okay, I wonder if this is connected to the Detroit Red Wings, which I've always thought is the Phoenix because they have the red wings there. They have the winged wheel as their logo. And lo and behold, Detroit Red Wings equals Jennifer Harris in 2 ciphers. And I've always connected the Phoenix to Detroit because in Gematria, Phoenix equals Detroit. Phoenix equals Detroit in 2 out of the 4 base ciphers, 91 and 98. So I've always connected Phoenix to Detroit just in general. And because I knew that they had a bunch of winged connections with the hockey team there, the Red Wings, and their minor league team that plays for them is the Grand Rapids Griffins. Did someone mention Griffin? I thought I heard that.
I mentioned Kathy Griffin with the red hair when she
Oh.
beheaded Donald Trump. So yeah, Griffin, yeah, that ties it.
Oh, okay, yeah, I thought I saw that somewhere, but yeah, I think that's a huge connection with. And she noticed how she's wearing the red Power Ranger, like the Red Wings.
Right.
So
yeah, hey Cody, really quick, I just want to add to that, Ani, in case you didn't know this, if you type out French fries, it equals 666 in the Sumerian cipher. So that's just the alphabetic order times 6. A is 6, B is 12, etc. But Cody, shout out to someone in the chat. I'm just me, you just be you. Said that WWE wrestler named Harris died that day too, I think. I just wanted to, you're the WWE guy, so I just wanted to see if I don't know.
I think he's talking about there was a wrestler many years ago named, his wrestling name was Kamala, and his real last name was Harris. So he was literally Kamala. He had the sun and the moon painted on his tummy. He had a big belly and used to bang on his belly. He didn't die. He didn't die on that day, but he did die on 8/9. I think it was right before she was selected as Biden's vice president. I think he died. So that's probably connected too. But yeah, in WWE, you had Kamala the wrestler and you had Umaga the wrestler. So both wrestlers tied to Trump. And remember, who was it? Kamala the wrestler was buried alive by The Undertaker in a casket match. And that was a foreshadowing of many years later, Donald Trump, who was represented by The Undertaker, he would bury Kamala Harris in the election and win the election. That was like foreshadowing for that. So yeah, I think that's all I have right now, but there might be more that comes to, but that with the Red Wings thing and the Kamala Harris thing clearly seems to be what one of the big parts of this.
So Cody, did you say that was Trump in Michigan when he was serving the fries in McDonald's?
Oh, I actually don't know where that was. I should
okay.
check that. Was that in Michigan? It might have been. Hold on. Donald Trump, or someone else can find it if you can find it faster than me. Donald Trump serves.
I'm typing it in, see on the stream.
Yeah, I totally forgot about Kamala Harris going on about how that was like her first job she had.
It was in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, yeah.
Pennsylvania, but I do that is good because it segues to my next story because there's a lot of Pennsylvania things that happened over this weekend. You guys heard about the 9/11, the 9/11 number shutting down on everyone in Pennsylvania. Like
it shut down where I live here. The county I live in shut down too.
Oh wow, yeah, that's
I'm in New York.
I think it was correlated because it happened when the moon was transiting Marigashira, and you had the garbage crisis happening in Philadelphia around that time. You guys heard about? I don't know, it was the governor or the mayor, but they wouldn't sign off contracts on dumping everyone's trash. So right now in Philadelphia, they had a crisis, a garbage crisis with all of this trash piling up. And then a couple of days later, the 9/11 number shut down for 24 hours. They sent a text message out. Donut talked about it a little bit as well. But I just noticed that there was some type of correlation with that, with the trash crisis in the 9/11 code or the number of 9/11 shutting down. I think it was tied to Kabbalah, something with the cliff off with them not dumping the trash because the cliff off deals with the things that's a part of our consciousness that we kind of dump and put aside that we don't want to deal with in our trauma, and it festers and it becomes these attributed emotional traits to our psychology that only certain people can see. And I noticed there's a lot of Pennsylvania rituals, like Biden being from Pennsylvania and the Eagles, Philadelphia being in Pennsylvania, winning the championship. Pennsylvania being called the Keystone State, which is connected to Freemasonry. I think it was strategic for them to shut the 9/11 code down there. Pennsylvania and Philly is one of the American-esque states representative of what the Eagle and these museums that they have there are very much attributed to American culture. But what are you guys your thoughts on the 9/11 code going down for a day and the garbage crisis out there in Philadelphia right now?
I'll say I got nothing, honestly. I have nothing to share on that just because I haven't been able to take the time to dive deeper into it.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, I just wanted to highlight that.
Rambo, I think you're on mute, my friend. I heard you speaking, or I saw you speaking.
Yeah, you're on mute, bro.
Sorry, I was just going to say that I have not looked into the story about the garbage crisis.
Okay, we don't have to talk about it if you guys haven't looked into it. I spoke about that briefly.
I actually do have some more Phoenix stuff, but
okay, we're listening, bro.
I'm just I just have to find my my Instagram because I'm on. I need Chrome in order to do StreamYard, but I have my Instagram on. It's on Safari, and so I need to log back in to do it. So you'll have to bear with me. I need to.
Is your graphics on Instagram?
No, it's actually a 3-minute video. It's like just 3 minutes. It's on the Phoenix thing. It has a lot of stuff. It talks about, remember the wide receiver Andre Rison? We all know Andre Rison, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's part of it. Rison. So that's a that ties into this, and yeah. So I'll just have to. I'll look for. I need to find my Instagram password because I didn't realize I had to log in once I'm on Chrome because I'm usually not on Chrome. I'm only on Chrome for StreamYard. So yeah, I'll
Ani can pull it up. That's
okay.
okay.
Oh, you can pull. Okay, you can pull it up. Okay. Scroll through. Okay, yeah, good idea. Scroll through. Just I'll show you which one it is.
All I will add, Ani, at least from a sports perspective, is keep in mind that Trump is the commander in chief. You had the Kansas City Chiefs losing to Philadelphia in Pennsylvania, the city of brotherly love. See what I'm saying? So, and yeah, Dallas 113. I can be found at Ball Don't Lie with 3 L's in Ball on Instagram as well as on YouTube.
I'll post it in there. I'll post all of you.
Yeah. Yes, further down. Look, you see the falcon there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Should be like 3 minutes.
Symbol of the cycle and the return, the Ouroboros, the world card of the tarot, the completion of the fool's journey, the birth, life, death, and rebirth of the sun. But the Pluto cycle is most significant in 2024, the biggest orbit, the outermost orbit. Pluto returns in 2024 to its location that it started in the year 1776, Sunday, December 8th, 2024. The Notre Dame Cathedral marks its return after the fire of 2019. The highest profile attendee of the ceremony will be a return symbol himself, Donald Trump, who has returned to the United States presidency and whose 2024 birthday is precisely one Pluto cycle after July 4th, 1776. The American Revolution, which inspired the French Revolution. Revolution means cycling, revolving. A phoenix is a cycle symbol, birth, life, death by self-immolation, and then rebirth, which is why there is a phoenix at the top of the Notre Dame, which they say is a French rooster, but it's actually a phoenix. Phoenix was the name given to the New World single currency by The Economist magazine in the year 88, 88 being a big Donald Trump number. Another return on December 8th, 2024 is in the National Football League, where former Minnesota Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins returns to Minnesota with the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcon is a cycle / return symbol from ancient Kemet, Egypt. It is Heru Horus, the newborn sun in spring, and Ra, the adult sun in summer, which dies in the fall, goes into the underworld of winter before being reborn in spring. Horizon, Horus, rising. Risen. In the early to mid 1990s, the Atlanta Falcons, the symbol of Horus, had a wide receiver, Andre Rison. The official motto of the Atlanta Falcons is Rise Up. Absolutely no coincidence that Rison was made to play for them. A direct reference to Horus, the Falcon, and the resurrected sun. Rison, the Falcon, dated musician Lisa Lopez of TLC. Lisa Left Eye Lopez. The left eye is the eye of Horus, the Falcon, a ritual occult arranged relationship. And their relationship ended when Left Eye destroyed the Falcon, Rison's home, with a fire. The occult.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
That blows my mind every time, Rambo. Unbelievable.
yeah.
Thank you.
That last part was that, but that goes back to what I was saying with the connection to the Moonchild. I think these people, they have to be either under some type of serious mind control, or they were born under these conditions, and they're nothing but magical experiments to whatever energies harvesting that the Black Lodge, the cryptocracies, the secret orders within secret orders are, doing with them. What are your thoughts? And just expound on what was presented just now, Rambo.
So you're right. It is all about the mind. It is all about it's about perception control. You'll always see mind control symbolism. I actually have another video which ties into the 137, because as AJ pointed out, 137 is the number for mind control. And it's all about mind control. This realm is all about mind control. Even this bicycle, the bicycle is a cycle symbol. You just saw at the beginning of my video, it showed a scene from E.T., the movie E.T., and they take off on their bicycles. Bicycles that cycle, it's mind control.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, kind of interesting that those bicycles popped up. It's about the cycle symbol, and ET's. It is about it's about mind control. So a big line from the movie E.T. is E.T. phone home. So E.T. is on Earth and trying to get back to his home planet, and I think this kid Elliot is a genius. He makes some kind of contraption, I guess, with the help of E.T. I guess a contraption which enables him to communicate with his home planet. The tagline, the most takeaway line from the movie E.T. is E.T. phone home. Another mind control symbol is the telephone. Lady Gaga did a song called Telephone. I think Charles Bronson did a movie called Telephone, but phone is spelled with an F. Telephone is a mind control symbol. It's like ET phone home. So what that means is if somebody has alter personalities programmed into them, their primary personality may not be active. You may be talking to an alter ego. It's also related to possession as well. And so the metaphor is, if the alter ego is active, that's like you're calling them and they don't answer. That's the metaphor they're making. That means an alter ego is active. Their primary personality isn't there. And that's the metaphor. So just so you know, her name is Stephanie Germanotta. That's Gaga's real name. So Gaga might be an alter ego. If she's under Lady Gaga, that's like, so the metaphor is you're calling on the phone Stephanie Germanotta to talk to Stephanie Germanotta, but no, she's operating under an alter ego with Lady Gaga, and so she's not there. She's basically saying, I'm not home right now. And there's another song which has the telephone metaphor. Very famous pop song is by the group No Doubt. It's called Spiderwebs. And that's another metaphor, the spiderweb. The chorus of Spiderweb is, sorry, I'm not home right now. I'm walking on a spiderweb. Leave a message and I'll call you back. So what does that? That means she's operating under a alter ego, MK Ultra mind control alter ego. So when I say I'm not home right now, it means you're not talking to the primary personality. The primary person is not home. Like, leave a message. They want, I'll get back to you. So I just say that to yeah, you can even like look at the lyrics if you want. It's about mind control. And mind control is such a central topic to these people. And like AJ mentioned, the 137, it is yeah, if you scroll through, yeah, I'm stuck in the your words walk right through my ears. See, that means the primary personality is not present. But if you scroll through, you'll see the chorus, which
I think if you just click the link, Ani, you'll be able to pull the full. Those are just the images. So if you go to all, like just click out of that, go to all. You should be able to click the probably the first.
Okay. I see it on Genius.
Yeah, there you
go. Oh yeah, there it is. See, so it says sorry. It says chorus. It says sorry, I'm not home right now. Yeah, sorry, I'm not home right now. I'm walking into spider webs. So leave a message and I'll call you back. It's about mind control. Because her primary personality is not there. You're not talking to her. You're talking to an alter ego.
So this one goes. Yeah, this. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying in general. So this is just goes along with, this is all about mind control, and also so this ties into the falcon symbol. So the falcon, the way they got the falcon symbol for Horus, it's really about the brain. It's a cross section of the brain. So you can look up Eye of Horus brain, and you'll see where the falcon comes from. If you Eye of Horus brain, and you'll look for images. It's all about the mind. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah. So yeah, okay, that's a good one. Yeah, but that's what the falcon is. The falcon is actually there's some way they highlight the falcon. Maybe if you put falcon into the search, they'll show you where the shape of it's like the side profile of a falcon. So the Eye of Horus is really about the brain and the mind and perception. It's also it all comes down to. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Perfect. Yeah, I use this one in my. Yeah, there you go. That's the one I put in my videos. That's where the falcon comes from. And now you know why Andre Rison plays for the Falcons. It's all about MK Ultra. Lisa Left Eye Lopez, she's under my control, unfortunately. Yeah, that's the Falcon.
Isn't it perfect, Rambo, that this McDonald's incident happened 263 days after Trump was in McDonald's on Kamala Harris's birthday, and 263 is the 56 prime, and mind control equals 56.
Yeah, 56 is a huge mind control number.
Eye of Horus equals 56.
Yeah. And it's all about the mind. It's all about perception. But yeah, 263, yeah. So that's a big number too. 26th of March. A lot has happened on the 26th of March. That's Biff Tannen's birthday from Back to the Future. And who's Biff Tannen based on? It's based on Donald Trump. Another thing about McDonald's and the Falcon. So the Falcon is the resurrected son. That's Horus. Horus is the resurrected son. The McDonald's Golden Arch is the Freemason Royal Arch. And that's why they're using McDonald's. That also ties into the resurrected sun. And red and yellow, even orange, those are sun colors. But this is where the Falcon, this is where ancient Egypt came up with the Falcon symbol. It's a cross-section of the brain.
Yeah, so it's semiotics. That's what it's called. It's the language of symbols. And the Egyptians detailed this very, very well, as well as the Chaldeans and the Babylonians and other ancient civilizations, where they can take a body part, and encode a symbol that means several different things, because the Eye of Horus also is the pi symbol. You can see pi right here in it as well. So it's like a merging of multiple symbols, it's semiotics. And I also detail how these celebrities are under a form of artificial somnambulism, which is a form of hypnotism. And the Jesuits were the one, Franz Mesmer at Ingolstadt University was the one who brought mesmerism and hypnotism to psychology. So these are the people that develop in recent time what hypnotism is. And you talked about the splitting of personalities. There's a book by Anthony Peake called The Daemon, whereas there are these different personalities are called daemons, and you can have certain words which access the exact color frequency within the mind to call upon the daemon that they program, which is the other personality, to rise up, and now they have control and they can give instructions to be at certain places and to carry out certain actions to fulfill the ritual.
Yeah, I didn't know about that pi observation. Yeah, thanks, man. That's a big one. Again, but what does pi use to measure? Circles. And what are circles are cycles. And isn't that what Horus is? It's the sun cycle. It's the resurrected sun. And then the full-grown sun is Ra. And then the sun dies, killed by Set, Osiris killed by Set. And you go to the underworld, and then it's reborn. And there's that sun cycle. And pi. So yeah, I didn't know about that pi observation, but it ties into the whole Horus sun cycle.
Yeah, it's about light. And what KODI said about Horus equals 56, light equals 56 in Hebrew. And pi represents the circle circumference in its diameter, it's an endless irrational number, and light travels in wave fronts. It radiates like a spear. So it's talking about how light curves and propagates circular spherical dynamics. So pi means the limitless container, and the iris, which we have to move into the institute next. I don't know if you guys seen that, but there is a particular child named Iris who is the first one to be sacrificed in the series. And as soon as the show come on, it shows the Horus eye symbol, which is very interesting.
Thanks for ruining that for me, Ani. I appreciate that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, the second episode came out the first day the first episode came out. I just didn't know. So I went back and watched it. I guess they released it a couple of hours apart. But yeah, the second episode is already out.
No, I'm just right behind you. So yeah, I mean, I do want to be cognizant of time. Just a heads up, we're coming up on about 23 minutes before that, hour and a half mark. But yeah, I know that the Institute, I just started watching it. I just finished the first episode. Super interesting. But I think it falls right in line with everything we were just talking about.
Right.
Hey, Ani, is it possible that I share my screen just real quick? I just wanted to show something along what we were just talking about with the Horus thing.
There you go, brother.
Okay, so I just wanted to point out that I've always noticed there was a connection between Horus and Harris, because if you like this little shot right here, Crowley's Aeon of Horus, the tarot deck that was painted for that was painted by Harris. And in fact, it's funny, if you type in Royal House of Harris, it also has Horus next to it. So I think that's part of the reason. I think Horus is actually somehow, it even sounds pretty close. I don't know if they're actually physically or they're actually connected etymology wise, but I know that, I've seen that before, where if you type in the Harris name, you get the Royal House of Harris, which they highlight Horus. And again, as I mentioned, if you go from the when Trump was from Kamala Harris's birthday to this woman Harris, it was 263 days. That's the 56 prime. And Aeon of Horus, which is what Crowley called it, equals 56. Eye of Horus, mind control, all-seeing eye. I think eye in the sky equals 56. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, eye in the sky equals 56. So lots of 56 connections there. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, you made that connection, KODI, to the Olympics when the Eiffel Tower, or something with the Eiffel Tower, you connect to the eye in the sky or something. That was a pretty good connection when you correlated.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
remember exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that was back. Yeah, that was back during the Olympics with Kamala Harris and Prince and the Eiffel Tower stuff that I was decoding. And yeah, Eiffel, like eye full of light. I have to go back, and Rambo had mentioned that in our stream a few days ago. I have to go back and retrain my mind on some of that stuff, because I even forget a lot of that decode. I need to go back and look at it.
No, that was a brilliant one. So what you did, you said Eiffel sounds like Eiffel. That's what you said. You realized, like, it sounds like Eiffel. And you said, what the heck? And you said, let me just see how you say Eiffel, like Eyefull. You said, it sounds like it. Why don't you just look it up in French? So that's what you did. You looked up how you say Eiffel in French. Though you say Eiffel in French is plein des yeux. And then you looked at plein des yeux. And I think you put a Eiffel Tower, and you got like a Grand Slam match. So no, that was a great decode.
Yeah, dude, that's what it was.
And one thing I pointed out was on the Aleister Crowley, the Tower, which is the Eiffel Tower. That deck represents Mars. On the Aleister Crowley deck, with the Eiffel Tower, it has the eye on it, so it is connected, especially the Aleister Crowley tarot. And like you mentioned a couple days ago, the Eiffel Tower is on the Champ de Mars, so it is directly connected to Mars. The tarot card for Mars is the Tower. Crowley's Tower has the eye. So yeah, the Eiffel Tower was an unbelievable connection, discovery, revelation.
And isn't it? We're going back to the 56 again. Paris, France equals 56. So, I mean, yeah, it all comes back around to that eye, that Eiffel, the France, Paris. Well, and we can't forget Society of Jesus 56, and of course they're connected with Paris, France. But yeah, I mean, maybe we'll have to do more digging into that, Rambo, on one of our future eye to eye. Isn't it perfect that our stream is called Eye to Eye? I don't think AJ was thinking of that when he named it that.
No, I thought it just sounded clever, but sure enough, we see it manifesting. Speaking of eyes, look at this, you guys, the Institute.
Yeah, this is really big.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, KODI.
No, I was just going to say, because we also had that yesterday, we had that fire at the Tomorrowland, and that had the eye right on. I did a decode on that. I released a video on that earlier, but maybe if we have time, we can get into that. But you can continue with what we were going to say with this.
Yeah, I was just saying that everyone should be looking at this series. This is a series for Decode. We've been decoding it on my Patreon. It's very significant. Came out, you see July 13th. You got the 137 again. A lot happened on July 13th. You remember last year, that's when Trump got shot on the supposed ear. And the nakshatra, which is interesting at that time. And I would advise for people who's listening in, if you don't know anything about Vedic astrology, it can give you extra clues in your decode, because the Shravana nakshatra is the ear nakshatra. It's literally the Shravana nakshatra symbol is the ear when you look at it. And when the moon was in Shravana was when Trump got shot in the ear. So notice you have Shravana nakshatra with the ear, right? It's called the ear nakshatra, literally. Everything with this nakshatra. And the nakshatra is a lunar mansion, by the way. You're getting confused by that word. It's just a lunar mansion. The regular Western astrology goes by where the sun is in the ecliptic heliocentric model, and the Vedic astrology goes by where the moon is geocentrically in a model. So it's like an opposite, but it's older than the heliocentric model. And the reason why I'm connecting that to Trump getting shot in the ear, on the Institute, the way that they track their mind is by placing this object on their ear. You see how they did that?
Yeah.
So it's connected to the Shravana Nakshatra because that was the time frame it was in. It was passing through Parnavasu Nakshatra, which means the return of light. And we just talked about the cycles of light. So this is a nakshatra highlighting that specifically. In Parnavasu equals 147. In Gematria, Freemason, Illuminated, and Programming equals 147. So there is a correlation. The main character name is Luke Ellis. You got Luke meaning light in it. He lives in house number 47 in the series. You know, government equals 47. The Institute, the actual TV series, equals 47. Telekinesis, because it's about these kids with superpowers. Telekinesis equals 47. Joe Freeman, the actor who plays Luke Ellis here, his name equals 47. Also,
you know what was weird too, Ani, was I was trying to look up this kid's birthday, the actor. I couldn't find his birthday. Were you able to find his birthday at all?
I don't think I found his birthday. No, I didn't. His name is Joe Freeman, though.
Yeah,
yeah. I didn't see his birthday. No, but I found some other correlations other than his birthday. But yeah, just connecting some of the things. So we talked about Shravana. I guess I don't want to go into the second episode since you haven't seen it, AJ. But there's a lot of
no, it's fine. No, it's fine. I was just joshing you, man. Please share.
Okay, so
that way I can look out for it.
Yeah, the second episode is highlighting what with the ear device. The ear device equals 117. Ear device equals 117 in Gematria. In English ordinal, Shravana equals 117. So there's direct match with the lunar mansion in the ear device. That's a great highlight right there. Also, I figured out that the Institute also equals 187. Ritual sacrifice equals 187. And in the series, Luke Ellis, the main character, his parents is sacrificed when they kidnap him. And this is probably how they get the Moon Children. They kidnap some of these kids or some of these orphans and put them into these government programs and send them back into society. And that's where you get all of those mass shootings or people getting stabbed in McDonald's and stuff. I don't know. This is just my theory on it. So these psychic experimentations are happening at this institute that Stephen King wrote about. Mind control and institutional abuse both equals 161. I got that correlation, which telekinesis 161. Luke Ellis, the main character of the series, his name, let me get a good picture of him. I don't even have many pictures, but his name equals 118, just like psychic experiment. And you might know this face here. This guy was in Westworld. He plays a character named Tim Jameson, and he's playing like the savior role. Tim Jameson and external savior, I noticed, equal 154. So he's that archetype of a savior that's going to save the kids out of this institute, because this QAnon type woman, she's like a conspiracy theorist. She's giving him clues, and I think she's a person who was one of those children in the institute that escaped, and now she's on the streets saying weird stuff, and people don't really believe her, but she probably has some abilities of her own that's going to be revealed. The person over the institute is this actress right here. I forgot what movie she was in. She was in a couple of movies, but her name in the series is Miss Sigsby. That equals 187, and she controls all of the kids in the whole entire institute. Ritual handler equals 87, and the maternal authority also equals 87. So that's just some numbers. Do you have any more connections, AJ, to the series? As
Ani, honestly, you pretty much stole my thunder, I guess you could say, with that. I mean, it just goes to show how in sync, how simpatico we are as far as what we're seeing. But I did request to share my screen. I can just show you, the one or two other things I noticed.
Sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, right off the bat, right, like Ani already pointed out, just the ear symbolism. But just a reminder, you guys, this came out on 13/7, and like Rambo reiterated, mind control equals 137. So that's perfect. We already touched on how this released the same date as when Donald Trump got severed in the ear. And then, how, all of the Trump supporters all had little bandages on their ears for a while in tribute to that incident. And yeah, I mean, literally the same screenshots that I used as well, just to show just kind of that symbolism right there, right after he gets his ear pierced, he has a little bandage or whatever. But really the other main point, I just want to say I can kind of relate to this kid, Luke, just in the sense that he's a basketball fan, just notice his t-shirt, the opening scene, he's playing basketball with his Timberwolves jersey, which is number 21, Kevin Garnett, which rolls back up to what you were saying, Ani, about 73 equaling sacrifice. Well, 73 is the 21st prime. And really the only other part I had was I just thought it was interesting that in the opening scene, when he comes to the Institute, you notice on the back of his shirt, it's a lot of cactuses with a cowboy hat on it, right? So it just reminds me of Phoenix, Arizona. I mean, Arizona is pretty much symbolized by the cactus. And of course, you got a ton of cacti on the back of his shirt. And he's looking at a poster that says, "I choose to be happy." And then that goes right back to the Phoenix story we talked about too, McDonald's and Happy Meals and being as a child, right? So that's really all the rest I had to share with that.
Well,
So I appreciate it.
The Roman Sikh shirt, we have somebody on Patreon, Adonijah, pointed out that Roman Sikh equals 106 in gematria. So does the main character, Luke Ellis, equals 106, 137, and 56. And Institute equals 106 and 137. So that Roman Sikh shirt, him having that on when he first gets there, is a key semiotic message of symbolism that you do need to look at. I think it's Gnostic as well, wandering in the desert, and the illusion is through the desert and finding inner gnosis, the moonlight consciousness half of it. But yeah.
The other thing I just noticed too is that there's a cowboy hat that's resting on one of the cacti. And there's also that moon symbolism again, which goes back to what KODI and Rambo and I had been touching on. When you look at the Camp Mystic logo, on the inside of the heart, once again, you have that moon on the top left corner of the symbolism. Obviously Luke is male in this instance, but I'm guessing that Iris, right? Iris, the one who gets sacrificed in episode 2, she's a female. So that kind of just goes back to those same themes that have been trickling around since the release date of this show.
Yeah, and they're putting the T-Rands colors all throughout the show as well. So there's a lot of symbolic programming with that.
So that does tie in some ways to the flooding in Texas and Camp Mystic that you talked about. So in Spanish, rainbow is arco iris. So iris iris actually refers to the rainbow. And think about what's the major rainbow symbolism, I guess, in religion. After the Great Flood, God sent Noah a rainbow sign to say that, I guess to say he wouldn't do it again or something. But the rainbow sign came after the Great Flood. And iris is iris, which is arco iris is a rainbow in Spanish.
Wow. Yeah, she's the first one that gets taken to what's called the front room. And they're supposing once you go to the front room that they kind of off you or something like that. So the older kid is saying, I've been here long enough to know that anything they tell us in this institute is a lie. And I think the institute within itself represents America. It's just bigger than just a place. And you saw AJ how they there was a driver that came up to the institute, and they were like, what's back there? And they said, oh, it's a what they said, an infectious disease laboratory, like that. And it said
Nasty stuff. That's what he said.
yeah, and it said on the sign, microbiological laboratory. Well, infectious disease lab and microbiological laboratory equals 126 in the same ciphers. So that's they kind of found another word that equaled 126. I don't know what the 126 correlation is to it all, but both of those equals 126 in the same cipher. So
Did you guys notice that I just doing a quick look at this. Did you guys notice that the second episode is called Shots for Dots? It made me think of Trump's 2 shots. He got shot in the ear and he got a mug shot. And guess what the series runs from? It goes from his ear shot to his mug shot date.
yeah, Shots for Dots. No, go ahead.
It goes from July 13th when he got his ear wound, his shot, and then it goes to August 24th where he got his mug shot. So I think that's quite interesting.
The Shots for Dots is referring when they do the psychological experiments. The doctor asked them, do you see the dots? I haven't seen it yet, AJ. They didn't show it in the second episode, but supposedly they're supposed to see dots. And he says, when you see the dots, that means you feel better. I don't know if that's correlated to some C word type stuff, shots for dots. But shots for dots equals 195 in gematria, and the synagogue of Satan equals 195, I noticed. But I don't know. I don't know what the shots are. That's interesting you say that, Kodi. I didn't know there was a correlation there, but they keep saying this thing and they keep showing the poster over and over. So it's something very big when referencing that in the series.
Huh.
Also, this is, I guess, kind of an obvious observation. The I in their logo or the font.
Yeah.
They put the I, the letter I, like it's the iris. A pupil, more like the pupil of the eye. That's representing a reptilian eye. That's a snake eye, a reptile eye. Just a observation. Yeah, that's reptile, snake, lizard.
And it's the Chinese year of the snake. And also one more thing, in the second episode, there's a graduation party. I just looked into this. The 195 correlation to shots for dots in the synagogue of Satan is correlated to Iris graduating and them having a graduation party. Graduation party equals 195. And that's what the episode starts on.
Well, Trump was shot on the 195th day of the year. And he shots for dots equals Trump is shot in 3 out of the 4 base ciphers. So I don't know. It seems like a lot of this is going back to Trump's shots and also the shots that he was part of administering.
Oh wow.
Huh.
So that's the shot that they give. And the guy,
of course, they got to make the needle look like a gun.
Oh, shoot. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it looks like a gun.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this series, man, this is something, man. I think more people need to look into that. It's definitely something to it. Definitely something to it. So one more thing before we get out of here. I noticed I did a post about Michael Jackson and Diana Ross, and it's going viral right now. And I'm not going to say exactly what's in the post. That's irrelevant, but there is something very weird going on in the post. Right after I did this post, Elon Musk says my name. He doesn't say Annie like Annie. He says Ani. Are you okay?
Bro, I saw that too earlier today, and I immediately thought of you. You're the only person I know with the name Ani, so that's why I was like, "What is that's weird."
Ani, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Ani? And then you go, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. But I noticed it was just like popping up there. It is interesting that Diana Ross equals 137. You know, we've been talking about 137 this whole entire all of these decodes somehow correlated to 137. And Ani, are you okay? Equals 137 in reverse ordinal.
Oh wow. Wow.
So I mean that 137 with the post I did, and then he puts 137 over and over and over. So I don't know, guys, but it's very interesting. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Do you have any idea what that song's about?
I have no idea. I know the Diana Ross. I think the Dirty Diana is Michael Jackson telling the world that Diana Ross actually was doing some stuff to him when he was younger, and that's why she's dirty. But I'm not sure about the Smooth Criminal song. Well, I appreciate it, family. I think we need to do this more. I can't wait to come back in a couple of weeks or a week or so and do something else with you guys, because I think this was packed with information and knowledge, and each of you guys brings something different, you know, to the flavor. I would like to see KODI do a decode as well, because I know when KODI goes in, he goes in real deep. So I'm looking forward to more sessions with you guys.
Yeah, thanks for that. I'm going to look more into this Institute show myself, and I'll see what I can find with that. I didn't even know about it till now. So a lot of new stuff being brought up here, and was a great stream for sure, with lots of stuff to look into for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Can you guys go again and let everybody know where they can find you from AJ, Rambo to KODI?
Yeah, I'll go first. So, you know, KODI and Rambo can close us out. AJ, Ball Don't Lie. You guys can find me at Ball Don't Lie with 3 L's in the word ball on both Instagram and on YouTube, a new channel. So I really appreciate all the love and support. Every subscribe means the world to me. Ani, thank you so much again for setting this up and allowing us to share your platform today. I had a blast. And for anybody else that's interested in the sports betting stuff, using that knowledge to get ahead in the sports betting world, I also have a Patreon and a Winnable page where I can send you those links. I think you have them. We can just add those to the description of the video. But thanks again, you guys, so much. Really appreciate it. Rambo, KODI, and I also have our weekly live show called Eye to Eye on Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. And Ani, we would love to have you on as a guest, on our page as well. So it means a lot, and I'm really looking forward to the next one. We should definitely do this more often. So thank you all.
Yeah, I'm gonna come over. You guys let me know. We'll get it done. And AJ's being modest. None of this is possible without AJ. AJ is the reason why all of us are together, and you get to get these type of decoders and minds together to have this. But what about you, Rambo?
Yeah, thanks for shouting out AJ. You're correct. My audience had been asking me, like, could you do something with KODI? I did connect with him a little bit. It wasn't until AJ got involved and things happened. So I can appreciate AJ. I'm glad you said that. He's the one who's he has the action principle. Thought, action. He has that.
Right.
Yeah, he's the one who's getting it done. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I'm at patreon.com/TheTruthCodes and on Instagram, TheTruthCodes. And just a reminder, what is that person called? Rambo on Twitter or X?
Seek the Truth 101.
Rambo Seek that is not me. That is not me. I don't even know what kind of decodes. If they have 53,000, I guess they're appreciated. It's a compliment to me if they think he's me and he's getting that many followers. Interesting that I'm not getting that hardly any followers at all. I'm getting the opposite.
Well, he's much more negative than you, because I was like, no, that doesn't sound like how Rambo talks. So I commented one time. So he's definitely more negative.
Yeah, and look at how many. If he has, how many did he get? 53,000.
Hmm.
Well, that tells you, like, so what we're supposed to be doing, we try, is we're exposing things that I guess most people don't see, and you think that those in power would not want you to see. Why would you expand that much? If they don't want you to, there's so many ways they suppress you. There's a million ways they can suppress your channel. How can you expand like that? And that's why you say he's more negative. Yeah, but that's why he has 53,000.
Wow.
Because he's negative. If you're positive, honestly, I'm not claiming to be some angel. I'm trying my best. And you get suppressed like crazy and imitated, and other stuff goes on. I'm not going to talk about it here. Believe me, it's more than just suppressing my channel goes on. There's a reason I had to shut down my YouTube channel. There's a reason. Oh, that's validation. So that's what happens if you want to have success in the material plane and get your 50,000 plus, or do you want to be more authentic and spiritual and really speak truth to power? Well, the power won't like it. You're not going to have 53,000. So that's fine. Good luck for him in his soul's journey. I mean that sincerely. I'll just leave it at that.
That's dope. What about you, Kodi?
So yeah, thanks again, Ani. This was really fun, and like I said, I think we should do this more often. And something I was trying to do originally with the community is bring more people together, and I'm glad AJ finally became that bridge. And I got to give a shout out to our friend Sean for connecting me and AJ. He's the original bridge. So Sean Desad of Widow's Son, who also has his channel called Widow's Son. Thanks to him, and thanks to AJ so much for connecting all these with Donut and me and Rambo and now Ani and everybody being connected. It's a good thing, and I'm really, really happy for that, and just blessed to be connected to you all. So yeah, and you guys can find me on Decoding with Kodi. I'm actually streaming this on my my channel also right now. So most of the people know, but thank you guys so much, and look forward to more.
Yeah, we got to get out of here before it turns to 1 hour and 37 minutes. There's going to be a real conspiracy. All right, guys, find me at patreon.com/THE_spiritual shade room, and find the Spiritual Shade Room 1 on Instagram, and Ani Osaru on YouTube. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time.
Oh, thank you.
See ya.
See ya.
Take care.